Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It feels like a really long time since I've talked to you guys. In reality, it's been 14 days, but for me personally, it has felt like an eternity. Now, I can assure you guys, in those 14 days, I have been working diligently. I have gotten things done, but things got a little Western and they have even gotten ugly. So let's get you guys caught up. Okay, we're jumping straight into it. Here is the reality of the situation. In the last month, I have dedicated all of my time to making repairs in the trunk and rebuilding the rear trunk brace, which by the way, here's how that turned out. It's kind of hard to tell. It's all painted, it looks good. However, all of that work, I am scrapping. I'm going to be putting in a trunk floor kit. I ordered it today. That's the direction we're going. They have told me that the trunk floor kit will be in the mail tomorrow. Who knows, in this post-apocalyptic COVID world, how long it's gonna take to get to me in the mail, but I'm told it'll be on its way tomorrow. That's okay, it can take a while to get here. I have picked up all the supplies I need to continue work on the Iron 6. But before we get into all that, let's go back and talk about why I am choosing to scrap all the work I've done for the last month. Okay, so for starters, I can live with the fab work I did on this trunk floor pan. Wasn't real happy about the welds in the corner, but I could live with that. And I could even live with the work I did on the rear trunk brace, which again, here's how it turned out. Definitely not factory, but it would do the job. Where things got ugly and Western was whenever I moved on to this side of the trunk floor. The driver's side trunk pan, which by the way, I thought was going to be the easy light at the end of the tunnel, let's wrap this project up, part of the task, turned into a nightmare. This sheet metal ended up being more damaged than what I realized, and what I thought was only going to be one patch turned into 4 or 5 ugly mess. And I can't accept this, I'm not happy with it. I ended up welding over the original plug hole that was here, and if I'm being honest with myself, I've got to take another approach here. Furthermore, after grinding this side down to see the condition of the metal, I've uncovered some things. There is a dent here, which is kind of hard to see, but this is dented inward, and you can see the way the floor pan is pushed away from the inner wheelhouse, which tells me that I'm thinking that there was an impact on this side of the car, and that's why there is a quarter panel replacement here. And this was all filled in with a newer seam sealer that was really tough to get out. I'm not happy with this, and I'm starting to have red flags thrown up about what might have happened here. So in response to that, I want to rip this out, do more investigating, find out what is going on. The other thing is, since the sheet metal was in worse condition than I thought in the trunk, I would like to pull out those trunk pans and get into the rear frame rails to see the condition of those. I think they're okay, but just the fact that I misjudged the sheet metal in the back, I want to double check those. So it's not going to hurt for me to rip out the trunk here and get access to the inside of those frame rails to see the condition of them. And now here is the last deciding factor of why I decided to go this route. I said from the beginning of the project that I was going to be buying and replacing the trunk panel drop-down sections on both sides. Those two drop-down extensions are going to cost me about $40. For just $47 more, I can get the entire sections with the drop-down panels for both sides and a new rear trunk brace. Now, before you say, why didn't you make this intelligent decision a month ago whenever you first started this endeavor, I would like to point out that at that time, the rear trunk kit was out of stock, and so my mindset was, who knows how long it's going to take to get here. I can make these repairs, we can make progress, and I can build my fabrication and welding skills along the way. Which, by the way, I did build those skills and I'm happy with that. So to me, scrapping what I've done for the last month is not a total loss. I've been going back and forth about this for a couple of days. The trunk floor kit just came back in stock this morning. I said, that's it, I'm buying it, done. So I feel really good about it. This is the right way to do it. It makes the most sense. To me, I just feel better about tearing into this a little bit more, pulling this apart and finding out what happened here and getting a better inside look at all this stuff. And just replacing it with better quality sheet metal. This side, I think this side was going to be fine, but the sheet metal over here, in reality, it needs to be replaced. And I know aftermarket sheet metal is not always as good as original, but the condition that this is in, it should be better. Now, I do have hours of footage that of me working on this stuff, but I don't feel right showing it to you since it's all going to get scrapped anyway. And I'm just not happy with the way all this turned out. So this is more of an update vid. So since I'm waiting on those parts, we are moving to the doors. We're gonna start repair work on the doors. We're gonna hang out there until the trunk floor kit shows up in the mail, at which time we will switch back over to that. We will get that taken care of, and we can finally get the rear end installed, which, by the way, is what started this entire project. We can get that installed back in and move on to other things. So that is the new plan. I feel really good about it. That's just the nature of a project car. Things I'm finding out rarely go as expected. And I've said it before, but it seems like every time you start to take on a new task, it's just like peeling back layers of an onion. And it ends up being a much bigger job than what you plan on it being. Hopefully, installing the new trunk kit will be the end of it and we can move on. One more thing. It has been a month and a half since I've actually started up the Iron 6. So I'm gonna hop in. We're gonna see if after sitting for a month and a half, it actually starts. I have no idea. Let's try it. I actually better make sure everything's kosher in there before I fire this thing up, because it's been so long since I had this hood open. Everything's connected. The battery could be dead at this point, for all I know. Still got some juice. We're gonna go with 6 pumps. Give her a little more. She's dead. I think she just needs a helping hand here. Oh, dang. She's all the way down to 53%. No wonder why you couldn't get there. I'm sorry I've neglected you. Alright. Attempt 2. Oh, she wants to start. I need patience. I need to use my patience. I have no patience. Oh, come on. We're gonna wait 15 minutes, practice some patience, come back, give her a go. That should do. Well, she needs a drink.